What's up, guys? Welcome to another I'm a Fighter podcast. This is episode 71.
It's too late, it's my fate, I can't turn around. There's no fear in the mirror to hold me down.
What's up? Welcome to another I'm a Fighter podcast where we want to entertain, inspire, and educate and remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits, baby. I'm currently in my studio hanging out, looking over the condos of Toronto. Just drove in here this morning. Just had an amazing weekend with my family. Me and my wife had a date day, and so that was a lot of fun. We went down to Toronto and just walked around. We ate at this place called Sandwich Box, where you get to choose your own bread, you get to choose your own protein, so it's a meat, your own cheese, and a vegetable. And I had this vegetable soup, and it was epic. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited because we're launching the new Let You Drive music video this week. It's going to be up on YouTube. It could be already up while you are listening to this podcast, but I'm really excited about that. We shot that at a racetrack. We got to rent this driver and his R8 Audi, and that thing drove me around, spun me around, had me flying. We did a band performance, and we also had a drone for the first time. I've done like 17 music videos. This might be 18 or 19. I don't even know how many. I'll have to count them again. But we had a drone for the first time, and my buddy flew the camera up in the air, getting these crazy swoop shots of us performing, and also while in the car. And my buddy Chris always uses these cool different techniques. Actually, he jumps on a skateboard with his $50,000 camera gunning towards us while we're performing to do all these different little techniques he does. But he's so talented, man. And so here's another music video that you guys can watch for your viewing pleasure. Go watch it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. So stoked about that. And I'm also going to be talking about something really new and special that I just launched that I want you guys to hear about at the end of this podcast. It's a new course. So really excited about that, but wanted to share some quotes with you before I dive into this amazing interview with my man Shonlock. But hey, here it is. An uncontrolled temper usually results in an uncontrolled tongue. Ooh, it's good. As sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, your mental attitude determines your earthly destiny. I believe that without a doubt, man. Your mental attitude is everything for when you're going into your day and you're going into your week and going into your year. How you think affects the decisions you make, the choices you make, and the actions you take. We got to get our minds right. I've talked about it so many times in the Fighter book about renewing your mind, getting good books, listening to good podcasts, getting inspirational ideas. A man without faith is a man without hope. You got to have faith. You got to believe. You got to take action. That's the main thing, man. Action takers are the winners. The ones that just sit around in indecision forever, those are the failures. The great leaders of the world were men and women of quick decision. That's Napoleon Hill who said that. So the suspense of indecision drives millions of us to failure. Sitting, wondering, oh, what if? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Yes, I will do it. No, I won't. Make a decision. Go for it. You can change something. You can't change nothing. You are going to be really inspired about this interview with my man Shonlock, about the music industry. He's gone through some cool stuff. He's starting to have some really awesome success. Remember, for more tips, for more stuff like this, go to smartmusicbusiness.com. Here's the interview with Shonlock. Well, dude, Shonlock, thank you so much, man, for hanging out and taking the time to do this interview. I'm just reflecting for a second here. I'm trying to think the very first time we met, which was probably when you were with Toby Mac and maybe through Madge. I don't know if it was Madge introduced us or where we met originally.
I don't know, man. It seems like Madge probably had a lot to do with it. He's always in the middle of something, man. But yeah, it's definitely around the Toby Mac time, though.
For sure. And I don't know the full story. I'm assuming you were rhyming before even doing Toby. Were you pursuing a rap career when you were dancing with, were you DC Talk as well?
No, it's funny that before I started working with Toby, I was working with Grits, and before then, I was in the secular, market doing stuff with or mainstream market with Nicole. No. What was it? R. Kelly and Aaliyah.
Oh, crazy.
And then, yeah, man. And so after I finished doing that, one of Grit's managers at the time hit me up and was like, I want you to come work with this hip-hop group. And so I started working with Grits, and Grits used to dance for Toby.
That's
and
right.
So
yeah,
they were out.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And then I ended up teaching, doing choreography. So I did choreography for them to do for DC Talk as well. So that's kind of, how I got introduced to the whole fold,
Awesome, man. And so,
Yeah.
when did you go through, like, I don't know, I guess becoming a solo artist? And I just remember way back from like the GMA's Nashville. I remember seeing you get signed. I don't know if it was with Sparrow or who it was, but it was a big deal. And then it went quiet for a bit. Like, it's been a bit of a journey and a ride, right? Like I feel like you really fought for this. And then obviously I want to talk about and celebrate the #1 single with Beyond This World.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that's exactly what happened, man. Like, I spent a lot of time out with Toby. But before that, I was rhyming, at home doing my own thing. Even when I was doing choreography, I always rapped because that was like my hip hop. That was like my first love. Hip hop was, still is, man. And then, once I got the opportunity to work with Toby, a friend of mine named Pigeon John was like, "Yo, man, you should continue to do your music while you're out working with Toby."
That's cool.
And so I was like, "All right," and I put a little project together, there's like 500 CDs, I was trying to press up and all independent. And I was like on the tour trying to sell those. I ended up selling like over 15,000 CDs. It started off like at 12 a night. Then it started growing into like 115 CDs a night, dude. I was selling so many CDs on those shows, man, just walking through the crowd after shows to Toby. And so, that number got out. People started realizing, that I was moving a lot of CDs, and that's how I got that first record deal with Warner Brothers and Word, you know what I mean? So that's what you're talking about, that big situation. And then all of a sudden, of course, you're like really excited about that. You've been working hard and you're trying to get that deal. You think that's the one. And then it just ended up not being the one because, they didn't understand where I was trying to go. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be put in a certain box and, do a certain, so we ended up deciding that, they knew what I wanted to do and they weren't prepared to do what I was trying to do at the moment. It's funny how things, full circle now. It's like everybody, they get it now. With the success of some other artists, they start to see, okay. So that's what you're talking about, man. I ended up working with Word and I didn't work out. And then I, was quiet for a while, man, just really kind of seeing what God was trying to do. And in my quiet time, and I was introduced to another record label, Arrow Records, and they were through Universal. And they saw the vision, came out to one of the shows where I was out with Toby and wanted to get behind me and support. And so that is how I ended up getting these 2 records out, man.
Isn't it amazing how sometimes I feel with a lot of labels these days, they really have to see the success somewhere else before they can really jump and believe it. And I feel like hip hop is finally caught up, like especially I guess in the more Christian genre, right? That it's caught up with the world. It's like, oh, there's something here, people actually like this music.
Yeah, man. You wouldn't believe there's so many different people like are bubbling now and trying to do things in the hip hop market and starting hip hop divisions and things like that. It's crazy now. But yeah, man, I mean, it's so weird though, because you think about it, we've been watching it in the mainstream be successful for years. And it's like, it just took a while for us to, to really see what was going on, man. I'm glad they're starting to see it, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will mean.
I'm glad you're still here, and I'm glad I'm still here, to be able to
man.
enjoy it.
Yeah, man, for real.
So, dude, tell us about the #1 single with Beyond This World. That's your first #1, right?
No, actually, my first record, Never Out or Even. That song, my first single off there, went #1 for 7 weeks straight. Something in Your Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Something in Your Eyes, man. It went #1 7 weeks straight. Yeah, it went #1 here. It went #1 in Australia. Like, it's crazy, man.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah, man. So the current single, Beyond This World, is #1 right now, man. We're excited about that. It's crazy because it was supposed to be the first single off the record to go towards radio, but we had a couple other they kind of wasn't sure if they was the one or not. So we went and dropped, a couple other songs. They did pretty well, but it's just like, this song is so timely, man. It's so current for what, the world and the U.S. is going through right now. Just talking about going beyond ourselves and being a bright lights in dark places and just showing unity in the church, man. And so, I think that God's hand is all over it, man, and the timing couldn't be better. And so we're excited about Beyond This World.
Dude, that's great, man. Where are you playing it in your set? Do you have it in the middle, beginning? Are you closing with it? Like,
that's funny. It's funny you ask that because, like, I just now started to play the song.
Really?
Like, I didn't, yeah, it didn't go. Like, last week was the first time I ever played it.
You're like, dang, I gotta rehearse the song, man. I don't remember how it goes. I wrote it so long ago.
That's what I'm saying. I was telling the audience, I was like, man, I said, this song is number one right now. And this is going to be the first time I ever played it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If I mess up, give me some praise.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
I'm trying to work it in, man. Because, it's different. Because my music is really eclectic. Sometimes I might be doing something like really hard and aggressive.
Yeah.
And, you have to find the right transition to get into the songs, man. And so,
yeah, you get them all hyped
I think
up,
I found
do a backflip, and then do a slow song, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it has to make sense and flow right, or people will be on just a really bad roller coaster. So, we worked it in, and we'll see, man. I'm trying to keep it in there, man.
Yeah.
But it's serving its purpose, though, on the radio.
Yeah, dude, I had a song that did well at radio, and honestly, people wanted to hear it, but it just didn't feel right in the set, and I was just struggling, like, where do I put this thing? And honestly, I just didn't perform it really, and it's just funny, but like, radio sometimes it's what's great about it when you perform those is people know it and they sing along with it if they have radio in that market where you're touring.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing too. Like, you gotta check your audience out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it makes sense, and then sometimes it doesn't. And so you got to give people, what works right for that situation, and each situation is different. So
yeah, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Just a couple more questions for you, man. One is, where do you write when you're working on stuff on the road, at home in the studio? And obviously we did a collab for my new record coming out for I Have a Dream, and I'm just curious where you sketched that verse out.
Man, I write at home, man. Sometimes, when I have a track, I really do the best writing, I feel like, when I'm driving on the highway. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, for some reason I pop the music in and just vibe out. Sometimes it's like maybe late night, we're going from one city to another. And, I'm one of those people that has to be moving, you know what I mean? So it's either in the car driving or I'm pacing around a living room or something like that and just kind of saying my rhymes over and over again. So that's how I write. I don't necessarily write it down on a piece of paper. Either cool. Sometimes I'll do a voice memo to keep the idea.
Yeah.
But what I do is I start over. I'll say a piece of the rhyme, then I'll start over again from the beginning, add on to it, start over from the beginning, add on to it. And then by the time you finally have your 16 bars or whatever, or whatever you're writing, you've memorized pretty much the whole thing from saying it so many times. So that's kind of how I vibe, man. And whatever the music gives to me, whatever vibe I get from the music, I try to go in on that angle. And, so that's cool, pretty much my process.
That's dope, dude. Next time we write together, we just got to get a beat neither of us have heard and just come up with stuff on the spot. I love hearing a beat for the first time. I feel like, especially if I love it, and it's like I almost don't want to play it because it's just so like magical to hear it for the first time. You don't want to, because you're never gonna get to hear it like that again because it's new,
Yeah, man, it's funny that you say that, dude. It's like I've realized that, and I go back and listen to, because I get it. You hear something you like, you're excited about it the first time, and then you play it back later on, and it's like, man, it's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it doesn't have the same magic that it did when you first listen to it.
Yeah, like I want to make sure I'm like quiet in a place. No one can bug me. If I'm playing this thing, I want to be able to tap into that inspiration because it might not hit the same way again, right?
Yep, that's so true, man. I'm gonna try to take care of that too next time I do that, man. Just, be more careful about when I decide to play track where for the very first time, and have myself in a position where I can start writing immediately. And capture that moment.
Oh, I love it, man.
So,
well, dude, the kind of the message and the inspiration behind this podcast is it's called "I'm a Fighter" podcast. A fighter is someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. And I'd love it if you could share a story of maybe struggle of your journey through life or music industry focus, where a time where maybe it was just really dark. You thought about quitting, but you didn't, and you kept on fighting and kept on persevering, and maybe why.
Man, when I first got that record deal with Warner Brothers, man, that was like, of course, you worked so hard, man. You dealt with so many rejections because I was selling my CDs out of my backpack before I got that. And, walking up to a bunch of people, trying to sell your CD to them randomly, you know what I mean? It's like, it's tough. You get a lot of people that kind of look at you crazy and think you're trying to hustle them, or you know what I mean? It's like it's really tough, man. You know how it is when somebody walks up to you in the mall or somewhere in the street with a CD or something. You're like, you're all skeptical. Dude. And so, I dealt with a lot of rejection in that process, man. But I kept going, and I learned to persevere through it, man, and really see God's hand on me and the music. And so, going through that and then finally getting that record deal was almost like, hey, this is definitely a sign that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and everything's going to be all right, and it's going to flow. And then all of a sudden for that to go away, like the pinnacle of what you're going after, you know what I mean, to have your music reach and witness to, a bunch of people goes away, you like are really discouraged, man. And so, in that quiet time, I dealt with trying not to be bitter, man, about the whole situation, but just sitting still and just kind of listening and seeing what God was saying. And he was making it clear that, the music that you create, is not just for a particular body of people, you know what I mean? What you have is something special and it's for everyone to hear. And so I learned that during that process, and to just kind of trust God, and he'll put people in place. But, of course, going through that initially, it was tough, man. I really felt like, man, what is going on? Do I need to just, stop messing with this music thing? Because it felt like your whole world is crashing. You have all those high hopes and for things. And so just to see God, strip that away, get me back grounded and focused, because even during that time period, I was dealing with, pride and wanting people to see what I could do to be, show how dope I was. And during that period, man, he was really showing me, he's like, okay, so after you showed everybody how dope you are, then what? You know what I mean? It's like, what did the people leave with? You know what I mean? And so what did they leave with? So it's like, man, that really put a burden on me to make sure that my focus was right and that the people were getting Jesus at the end of the day. They were finding a connection with God and not just leaving really excited off a cool show that I did. You know what I mean? And so after learning that process, man, it just, God just puts people in front of me that kind of supported the vision. And, it was all good, man. It worked out, man. And our first single off that first record was #1, like I said, for 7 weeks straight. And so, I think about 7 in the number of spiritual completion, you know what I mean? It's like 7, that complete number.
That's
I feel like, man, it was really God's hand. But, so, man, that's what I would encourage people, man. Like, stay focused on what God has called you to do, you know what I mean? And trust him in the meantime, even when it looks rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And, you said some interesting things there too, man. It just made me think, like, as artists, I feel like it's not just like a job, like getting fired from a job. Like, it's our art, right? And so I feel like I feel like we take it personally a little bit more, right? Like it hurts, it digs a little bit more than I think than just,
Yeah, man.
worked at a corporate job or something like that. Cause it's, it's like who we are in a sense. So it just cuts a little deeper.
And it's, because it takes, it takes you, it's a part of your life, bro. Like when you write an album, when you put a first record, especially your very first record, took you like your whole life to really put it together, because you're like writing rhymes for years and years and years, and you finally put this project together, and it's you, it's you, it's what God has showed you, and so it definitely digs deep when when something happens and it doesn't work out how you planned it.
Yeah.
Planned it out, but trusting God at the end of the day is what it's about, man, and He always comes through.
Yeah. And I just want to say one thing too, because it just brought me back, is just the whole, like, for all of you artists out there that are listening to this, like, you got to have thick skin, and to be able to walk up to somebody and ask them to buy your CD. Like, I used to do that in the clubs when I was opening up for a bunch of non-Christian rappers, and I wasn't getting paid, and it was the only way I was going to put food in or gas in my tank, and just like the only way I'd get paid. So it was like do or die. But dude, it was embarrassing, man, when people just look at you like you got a third eye or something, right?
Yep.
And like, why are you talking to me? Go away. I want to drink my beer. And it's just like,
oh man, dude, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know it, man. You've experienced it, man. It's that perseverance, man. That you got to be able to handle that rejection. You know what I mean? And keep it moving, not let that discourage you, because, you're going to get a lot of no's and a lot of, what do you get away from me? What are you trying to do? You know what I mean? Just crazy. So people say the craziest thing you did. So you definitely got to know that you're called to do it, because if not, you're going to spin your wheels and probably get your ego and everything else bruised a lot before something happens for you.
Well, where can people connect? Where can people connect with you, man? I'll make sure I point them to the single on iTunes. You're on Instagram, I know that. Where else can people get at you?
Yeah, man, you can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, the main thing is knowing how to spell the name, and you can find me anywhere. But it's Shonlock.
Sweet.
So you can check me out there. We'll be touring the 22nd of this month, man. Fireflight, Silverline, hopefully we get to come out to the Toronto area. I don't know.
Well, dude, I hope you do come out to Toronto and we can play another show together. So excited about that, man. Make sure you check out Shonlock's new music, new single. He is blowing up the charts. Just type Shonlock in iTunes and his music will pop up. So proud of that, dude. Me and him did a song together. It's called I Have a Dream. Tadashi has also got a verse on there that is off the new album Reborn, which is coming out October 2nd. I am so excited. We're still crushing this Pledge Music campaign and raising money and awareness for epilepsy. We're at 123%. I am freaking out, and it's so awesome, man. Just go to pledgemusic.com/manifest for that. But hey, to all you artists out there, man, I want to encourage you to keep writing. I want to encourage you to take action, like I was talking about at the beginning of this podcast. As you can see, man, nothing happens overnight. You got to go through stuff, man, and sometimes you got to go through embarrassment. You got to have thick skin if you want something. But how badly do you want it? How badly are you willing to invest in your career, I created a brand new course called Smart Songwriting, and you can look that up at udemy.com. That's udemy.com, a brand new course. For more stuff like this, make sure, if you have not, go to smartmusicbusiness.com and sign up for some free training and invest in yourself. But just keep creating, never quit. I want to remind you guys that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. I want to play a brand new song off my record, Reborn, and that's Reborn. Emotions are rising in, I'm finding it hard to be honest with music. I rhyme again, reminding myself that I lie to myself, trading my health and increasing my wealth. Can you save me? Not even hiding it. I'm lying awake and I'm breaking my promises. Pressure and pain, yeah, you think you know me, don't you? Covered in rage, put the gun back in your holster. Walking my shoes, I'll sing you some blues. Tripping on truth and I'm looking a fool, yeah, 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 yeah. What are you thinking? Look in the mirror, stubborn, stinking, losing my vision, made on a mission. Come back and kill it, kill it, kill it. Not for a visit, really gon' live it. Not when I miss it, really gon' live it, really gon' live it.
Time is too short, I can't afford to get caught. Looking back, I relapsed, of course. I've been reborn, caught in the storm, I want more. So why act like a man ago? Time is too short, I can't afford to get caught. Looking back, I relapsed, of course. I've been reborn, caught in the storm, I want more. So why act like a man ago?
That I'm digging in, it's only a minute, but what I've been thinking is admitted to go again. Hope that you're going to win, hope that you roll it and roll it in. Give me a towel then, I'll battle my hours and 10 doesn't count them in. Why am I saying it? You suck with the money, your problem is saving it. Yeah, spend it all, life's a journey, learn to crawl, climb the arm of God, tall. I stand in all grace, give me a second chance. Being a better man, eating my words again, walking on sinking sand, dream of the promised land. Why do you want it? Working so hard, not just to flaunt it. My flagship's got a cross on it, who wants it? Go in there, swallow your pride, don't be scared, beware. Take courage, don't take care. Pray to God, I dare.
Time is too short,